Being ADHD means living with conflicting needs, both urgent, both valid, and rarely in sync. It's not just overlap, it's contradiction. You're not flipping between autism and ADHD, you're both all the time. And that combination, it creates a kind of tension no one else can see. So today, let's talk about what that actually feels like, not as something you'd read on a checklist, but as the patterns you live with every day. The first contradiction shows up when you're trying to start something, anything. Your brain might fill with ideas, they connect fast, come in waves, and you're ready to go. But instead of starting, you stall. Not because you don't want to, but because you suddenly don't know how. You start thinking about everything at once. How should you begin? What might go wrong? How long will it take? What will you need to start? And who else might be involved, right? And just like that, the momentum disappears. You're not procrastinating, you're stuck between the ADHD drive to do something new and the autistic need to understand everything first. This contradiction doesn't just slow you down, it hides how hard you're actually working. While the outside world might see inaction, you are not sitting idle. You are problem solving. You're trying a new path, then realize halfway through it, it was the wrong one. So you backtrack, you try again, you rework it. Your autistic brain gets caught in the weeds, focused on getting it right, but struggling to find the cleanest path forward. And time doesn't pause while your brain is trying to figure it out. Eventually, you hit a deadline. Now that thing has to get done, and it has to get done fast. You meant to do it properly. You had a plan, but suddenly you're out of time, and everything dissolves into last-minute chaos. You weren't avoiding the work. You were trying the whole time. You just couldn't finish it the way you meant to. This leads into a different kind of contradiction that relates to how you make decisions in the first place. You might try to be cautious and intentional in your decision making, yet time and time again, you make choices that don't reflect the care you would have liked to take. You like to think things through. You want to make smart choices, ones that fit your life, your needs, and your capacity. But when the mental load gets too high, instead of slowing down, you act fast. You buy something you didn't research. You agree to something that your nervous system will later regret. You say yes just to end the conversation. In the moment, it feels like you're solving a problem, but later it feels like you broke a promise to yourself. The decision wasn't random, it was reactive, and it often contradicts your autistic need for order, calmness, and stability. So now you're overwhelmed by a situation your ADHD side accidentally created while trying to make things easier. Now there's another contradiction that isn't about urgency, it's about stimulation, because ADHD pushes you to chase newness while autism depends on predictability. With ADHD, you want to shake things up, try new things, and explore, but autism needs familiarity. It thrives on patterns, sameness, and structure. Even small changes can throw everything off. So what happens? Well, you chase novelty because it feels exciting. You say yes to a spontaneous trip. You sign up for something new. You move, you switch jobs, try a new system. And at first, it feels right. It feels like a fresh start. But then the unpredictability creeps in. You don't know what to expect. You don't have a rhythm, and your autistic brain starts to panic. Now the thing that felt energizing feels overwhelming, and you're caught between the part of you that wanted the change and the part of you that needed it to stay the same. You didn't do anything wrong. You were trying to meet a need, but when those needs contradict each other, you're left feeling overstimulated, ungrounded, and unsure of how to move forward. And then there's the contradictions that only show up in social situations when ADHD pushes you to connect quickly and autism makes it hard to keep going. ADHD makes you curious, animated, and quick to connect. You're often great at first impressions. You're warm, engaged, interested. You ask good questions. You mirror energy. You might even make people laugh in a good way. But once the structure falls away, once things get unpredictable or emotionally layered, autism kicks in. Now you're overthinking, you're rehearsing conversations, second-guessing everything. What started as easy has become overwhelming. You want to connect, but don't always know how to stay connected. You want to go deeper, but don't know how to manage what happens next. So you ghost or pause or disappear for a bit. not because you don't care, but because your nervous system tapped out before you could explain. That contradiction of being socially expressive but easily thrown off course is one of the hardest to explain because you do love people, you just don't always know how to keep showing up. If any of these contradictions feel familiar, you're not broken and you're not making it up. You've just spent your whole life trying to balance two internal systems, and while they are both valid, they don't always want the same thing at the same time. That's what it means to be AuDHD. And once you can name those patterns for what they are, you can stop blaming yourself for being inconsistent. Because in reality, you are navigating contradictions no one else can see. And now you don't have to do it alone. Thank you so much for being here today. I will see you next time.